chair is a bouncy ball. My chair is a bouncy ball. Hey YouTube, it's your girl KiVonShe, and I am here with a nice everyday face routine soft glam look just for you. This video was highly requested by a bunch of strangers and also a bunch of people that I know, and today's feature is going to be a brand Von Lush with the lips and the eyes. So if you want to see how I achieve this look, then keep on watching. So the start of a good base is the start of a good face. So I'm going to go ahead and cleanse. The second step I'm going to do is exfoliate to make sure my face is nice and smooth. I'm going to go in with my toner just to re-moisturize and rebalance the skin. And then I'm going to go into my dewy serum just to add just a little bit of glow. And lastly, I'm going to go in with my moisturizer right before I get into my primer and my base. Alright, so now that my skin is all moisturized and prepped, I'm going to go ahead and start by priming my face with the Fenty Beauty Soft Matte Primer. Just ignore the TV in the background and ignore my soft, soothing voice right now because my baby's sleeping. But anyways, I have combination oily skin, so I like to start off with this first, especially in the T-zones. And I like that it's not uber matte because lately, even though I have oily skin, I've been loving the like dewy look because it just looks more healthy and it provides just a better glow. Also, lost these two nails over Thanksgiving, so I don't know what happened, but they make for really good eyeshadow fingers, so shout out to that. Next, I'm going to go in with my Touch in Soul Glassy, and I like to put this in the areas along my cheeks, just because it's something about when the sun hits those parts, when it looks juicy and glowy and healthy. I don't know, it just looks really good, and I feel like it makes my highlight pop and my cheekbones pop underneath my makeup. So it's kind of in where I just put the matte, but I just really want this to be nice and juicy. And it's just here, so you can already see, like, it just provides a nice sheen and a nice glow. And I don't even have anything on, so yeah. Now on to foundation. So like I was saying in the beginning, this is just something I do every day. I'm not gonna do anything super full glam because most times it's just work makeup. And I forgot to mention, this is my Milk Makeup. This is the Flex foundation stick in the shade Tan. And I'm gonna go ahead and take one of these new brushes that I got from Revolution Beauty. It's the Revolution Pro brush. It doesn't have a number on it. Let me see if this will blend. Typically I use a sponge, but decided to try this out for this video. Sorry about that. So as you can see, I hope you can see, it's a little bit warm. This was definitely my summer match, like the perfect match. But winter is here, kind of. It's still like 80 degrees in Texas, but then sometimes it'll go down to 40 and then it'll go back up to 70. So I'm just gonna stick with this until otherwise. I'm gonna go to the sponge. It's like a huge bristle right here on my face. And I already pre-moistened my sponges. So I'm actually super prepared today. I was watching a video with Arnell Armand, and if you don't know her, like, get to know her. She's been around for a minute, but she was talking about how all the makeup that she uses before a video she puts in a box, and I have all of mine on like a carousel and in its little places, and I like to keep it in its place because it's cute. But honestly, preparing it all in front of me literally keeps me from having to look for stuff and just waste time while I'm filming. So I'm gonna bring y'all in a little closer so you can see something. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but a lot of the freckles and the beauty marks that I still have on my face is shown. So now if I was coming out the house like super quick and I just really wanted to look a little bit warm, I would stop here. But you don't have to stop here, and you can definitely use another layer, so that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so like I said, this is just an everyday look. Typically, I would go in with a more full coverage concealer, but today I'm going to use the Rimmel London Stay Matte, and it's a soft matte concealer. I've been using it, and I don't feel like it mattifies completely under my eyes, which is fine. It's a little bit thin of a consistency, but it blends out so well. Like, I don't even know. Like, I was a little bit worried. I was a little bit worried about it when I first got it, because it's very watery. But as you'll see, it's gonna blend out like ridiculous. So before I go and blend out my concealer, I'm gonna take a darker shade in that same brand. The other shade, if you're my color for a shade reference, that was in the shade, where are we at? How did I even pick this? Wow, I don't see the shade name on there. Anyways, this is a darker one, and I've been using this to contour lately, and I've been liking it for the natural look. Alright, I'm going to take the same sponge that I used to blend the foundation and pop that in there. And I forgot to mention, because Mr. Sweetface started making a little bit of noise, but I love the Flex foundation, because like its name, it's just very flexible. And I guess a lot of stick foundations are just immovable, but this was my very first stick foundation, and I'm actually glad that Milk Makeup Flex Foundation Stick is my first, because I don't have any of those, like, I don't know, I don't have any of that experience with it not moving. And I went a little bit around my mouth. I actually have never done this. I just did this now just to see if it'll do anything with like color correcting around the mouth, but I don't see a difference. So there's that. So now that this has been sitting on for a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out. So like, as y'all see, it says it provides like 24-hour long wearing coverage. It's very sheer, but I like it because it's brightening and it blends out even after sitting on the face for some time. So this is actually a very easy concealer to work with, especially if you're the type of girl that's kind of afraid of full coverage. And I'm not anymore. I have some, but I didn't want to use it for this look today. And if you're wondering why I'm waiting to do my under eyes, I have under eye creasing like none other. And so I just do it last just so I can get the most coverage out of it. But I don't know if you can tell. I tried to bring y'all in as close as possible with this lens, but I still see my skin underneath, but that's all right. And I'm just going to go ahead and use my brush. And I'm going to keep everything up. So I'm not going to drag it down or do anything super dramatic. Just want to keep it all underneath here and just work it underneath. And it helps you keep the eyes more awake. And again, you want to look like you woke up like this. And so dragging it down just kind of makes everything super dramatic. I just want to keep it high and tight. And as you can see, like, it's brightening, but it's not like a full-on coverage. So it does exactly what I needed to do without me looking like crazy. I feel like I look exactly like I did when I first came on camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye, and then I'm gonna be back. All right, that is all blended out. I'm gonna take the other side of this beauty blender and just press everything in. And because it's damp, it's just gonna let everything melt together. And one thing I used to be afraid to do is get concealer on my nose, but honestly, the best thing you can do is just let the concealer go over and then blend it out, especially if you're a nose contouring kind of gal, which typically I don't, but using these particular concealers, I nose contour because it's just really soft. It doesn't really change anything or have any dramatic effect on my nose because it's big as fuck, but you know, things. Sometimes you just do them out of habit. Alrighty, so I am going to take my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Banana Powder, and I'm going to take a different but also damp sponge, and I'm going to pat that in there. And this is what I'm going to use to do an easy bake. Basically, instead of just baking and leaving it on the skin, I'm going to press it in there. And this is more like the microwave version of baking. And I do that because I don't want everything to be super drying, and I want it to look as natural as possible. So you see it's giving like a blurring effect, but it's not looking super powdery. And I pressed it into there, and then I put the excess on the back of my hand. So instead of dipping back in, I'm just gonna scrape up the excess and do the other eye. And this keeps you from over drying and over powdering your face, because I do have some powders that are very drying. So using this method helps me get like that flawless look and that flawless effect without me feeling like my eyes are scrunching up and are going to fall out of my socket later on. So same thing with the concealer as I do with the powder. I'm not afraid to put the powder on my nose because all of this is lighter anyway, so it makes no sense that my nose is going to randomly look darker or different than everything else that's going on around my face. All right, and I do want to say thank you to everyone who requested this video, mostly the people at work, and like when I go to the store, people always stop me and ask me like what do I put on my face, and they're complimenting me on my makeup. So I am glad that I'm someone that people look to get makeup tips, because man, there was a time, your girl, I didn't even start wearing makeup until 2014. So, and when I started, it was a tragedy. So I'm going to take another Wet n Wild Photo Focus, but this is in the shade Deep. And that's my skin shade. So I'm going to just start to press this into the skin. And I got this trick from Savannah Silver. Before, I used to always just put it on a brush and just kind of swirl it around, but I love Savannah Silver and her face is always flawless. So if you admire someone's makeup and how they do their makeup, you may not be the same shade or have the same products, but the same techniques work. So long as you get the products that work for you, techniques is going to work. And I just find that my makeup lasts a lot longer, and again, I don't have that super powdery look. And doing this with a damp sponge with a drying product just kind of presses everything in and just makes it look a lot more natural. Like, I'm looking at my face right now and I'm looking at the monitor and stuff, like it does not look like I have on makeup. Like, it's crazy, and that is what we're going for. For my bronze and my highlight, I'm going to take the Makeup Revolution X Patricia Bright Face Palette, and this is the shade You Are Gold, and this is what it looks like. Oops. And I used this on my IG video the other day, so if you haven't seen that, go ahead to my Instagram and check that out. But this is a great face palette. Like, this is just such a great face palette, and I don't know Patricia personally, but I'm definitely proud of how far she's come and the things that she's accomplished. She's always putting out great information about clothes, high-end products. This collaboration is not even the first like makeup thing that she's given us. She did like a box with a bunch of different brands where I think the box was valued over $1,000, but I think she was giving it to the people, her followers and her fans, for like $300. And she's always talking about like financial security and financial information, and it's just amazing. Like, I just love the knowledge that she's gained along the way, that she's not afraid to share it with the rest of us. Okay, I also took that same bronzer and did a little bit of nose contouring. Before I finish up the eyebrows and stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with the Too Faced Hangover Effects 3-in-1 Replenishing Setting Spray. Alright, so for a super snatch look, you can just kind of let this air dry and fan dry. But again, today we're going for the natural look. So I'm going to go ahead and press all of this in. And I'm just going to let it bounce lightly across the face. And now my face looks super lush, super moisturized, alright? Okay, so I went ahead and did my eyebrows off camera because everybody has a different eye shape. Everybody likes their eyebrows a certain way. And right now, I just took some of my Can't Stop, Won't Stop, which one is this? Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealer from NYX because it's super matte. And I just blended that out for my eyeshadow. Now, honestly, if you thought everything else was easy up until this part, doing your eyeshadow for a natural look is the easiest part. So for me, I like to take a matte concealer just because it'll dry down much faster. I don't have to fan anything or wait or worry about anything sticking because the purpose of this is not for it to be tacky. At least not for me. I'm going to take that same deep Wet n Wild powder with this same brush, and I'm going to tap out the excess in the lid. Just tap that out. And for this, you want to use one that is close to your skin tone. So shout out to Glam, who literally, I think I started following her after I put out a message on Twitter, and she gave me this tip. Like, just use something that's your skin tone, because for brown girls, it's really hard to find your shade of brown in a palette to get this look. And it's such a pretty look, and I always wanted it, but none of the light or cream shades ever worked for me, and she hooked me up. And when you put on the makeup and stuff, this part is important, because once you put all your makeup on, your eyelids are going to naturally look darker and just a little bit sleepier than the rest. So you want to get it to look like the rest of your face. Now I'm going to take my bronzer shade and just pop that in the crease. And I am not going heavy with this at all. If you got broke fingernails like I do, just go ahead and blend that out, and you're basically done with your eyes. Now you can just throw on some mascara, or you could put on some lashes. I'm gonna go ahead and try out some new lashes today, and I'm super excited to show y'all, so I'll be back. Also, get a look at this lash. Crazy. So the lash that I'm wearing today is the Von Lush lash. This is the packaging that it comes in, and this is in the style Nala. And this is what it looks like on the inside. So it's definitely a glam lash, but it's more on the natural side of lashes these days, okay? Because some people are putting bat wings on their eyes, and this is not that. It doesn't feel heavy, and the band is actually kind of thick, which I like, because then I know that there's more to adhere the glue to, so they can be secured on my eye. So what I did was I tightlined my own eye just to kind of create like a fake band, just in case I can't get this lash close to my own lashes. And then I just did like a little black and then a little brown liner just to keep everything natural. Again, I don't want to go like super overboard. I just want to keep everything cute, but I want to look good, right? So with this, I'm going to take this out of its packaging. And I've never done this on camera before. So this is what I do when people ask me to do things, all right? So this lash is long as hell. Ooh. I don't know if you can see. And I'm gonna cut it. So I got this, and I got my scissors. So it kind of extends a little bit past on the inner corner, so I'm just gonna cut that piece off so it's not poking me in the eye. And then on the end, there's a short piece and another long piece. I'm gonna cut those two off. Okay, gonna take my Kiss Strip Lash Glue. I'm sorry y'all, I got the TV going to keep a baby quiet, and now the dog is outside barking, so lots of noise. I typically don't put lashes on camera, but I'm doing this for y'all. A lot of lashes, when you take out of the box, they kind of curve like this, like a horseshoe. So I try to bend it so that it's more flat like that. The first time I put on lashes, it took me 45 minutes to put on one lash, and I was in the bathroom crying. And my stepmom came in and was like, what the hell is going on? And I was in there and it was still hanging off of my eye. So the key is to look down, and then you want to put this behind your lashes, not underneath, because that shit will poke you in the eye all day. Now I like to take the tweezers and just press it on there and just put it on. And to control the lash better, you also want to grip the lash close to the lash band, but don't get any lash glue on your tweezers, otherwise it's gonna stick as soon as you try to take it off. And I just use my fingers to push that on and press down on the top. And because I already pre-lined the top lid, you can't tell that it's not as close as it could be. But I got it pretty close. I'm surprised this cooperated, because put on this lash did not go this quickly, let me tell you, but it's so cute. So to finish up the eyes, I'm going back to this face palette, and I'm going to take a fluffy brush. Now typically you wouldn't use a brush this fluffy, but I'm not trying to go for anything super precise, and I'm going to go into the highlight shade, and I'm just going to blow this out in here. And I just want it to be flush. I don't want it to be like super precise. Just want to add like a minimal glow in there. Like, y'all see that? Just a minimal glow. I'm gonna also hit my nose. Now a lot of people with big noses would probably shy away from this, but I got a big nose and that's what it is. I love it. I think it's a cute shape, so I'm not upset. And going to hit my forehead. I love highlighting right here. I don't know. I think because I'm always taking like selfies on this side, I don't know. But I also do it on this side just in case somebody catch me slipping. Because when the camera come out, you just gotta be like, you gotta be ready in mid-sentence, you know? I love this face palette because it's not like super crazy. Like, this is the palette for a natural look. Like, it's just perfect. I'm glowing. Literally the trick to a natural face, I'm gonna tell you right now, and you really do have to be ready to invest your time, but the trick to a natural beat overall is really good skincare and a really good skincare routine. A few months ago, like, my face was breaking out terribly from like June through August, and I just didn't wear makeup, and I spent that whole time trying to find face products that would work for my skin, and I finally did, and now my makeup lays better, it just looks better, and my face just looks and feels much healthier. I wasn't going to do this, but why not apply a little blush since we're here. I'm just going to use the whole trio. And this is not a blush brush, but I wasn't planning on putting on blush, and this is the one that's right there. So a nice wash of pink, bring the colors back. Alright, next I'm going to line my lips with the Rimmel London. I think this was a eyeliner pencil, but I use it as a lip liner pencil because it's a really nice brown shade for me. I like to fill in the corners, and then the bottom. Again, I'm not super precise with this because again, it's just a natural look. And I don't want a super lined, overlined, underlined look. Pop that out. And to finish the look, I'm gonna go ahead and take my KiVonShe lip gloss, and this is in the shade Deep. This, I just see myself ordering way more. I'm gonna go ahead and put this gloss on. There's no such thing as too much gloss. So this smells good. It smells like coconut and cocoa butter at the same time. That's so cute. It's so juicy. And one more, I'm going to take the Iconic London, and this is in the shade, actually it's a lip plumping gloss in the shade Nearly Nude, and this is what it looks like. Just to kind of add a little bit of a pink luster in the center, but I do like the tingling feeling of lip plumping. So if you're a black girl and you just was like, screw the lip plumping, it just feels really good, especially after you exfoliate your lips. So I'm going to take a little in the center, and I got this trick from Arnell as well, and it's basically like if you want to go for something a little bit more nude, just only apply it to the bottom center, because when you're talking and you're making words and you're doing all those things, it'll easily diffuse, and if you do top and bottom, it'll nude out the lip more than you need to, and then you're gonna have to go back in and apply more liner and all that stuff. So as you can see, it's already a difference. It's just that is it for today's everyday natural glam look. I hope that you all loved it, and let me know down below what tips you use. Also, if you didn't use any tips and you ended up using mine and the products, let me know if it worked for you. Tag me on Instagram at KiVonShe. I really want to see. Like all of y'all, I struggled. This was not easy to get here and to get it to look like this. It definitely takes patience, time, and practice. You have to do it over and over and over and over and over again just to perfect it, like everything else in life. So thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for my next video.